News and programming is sponsored by Desert View Hospital, providing emergency medical care around the clock at 360 South Lola Lane. Learn more at desertviewhospital.com. Physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 46 is also brought to you by Humana, serving the community. Please stop in at 1397 South Loop Road on the corner of Loop and Highway 160.
Tonight on News 46, an armed suspect is captured after robbing a store.
And a car strikes a power pole on the highway. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Police arrest a suspect shortly after a robbery. It's Tuesday, January 30th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
Luckily, no one was injured when a man fired a shot into a convenience store this morning during a robbery on Pahrump Valley Boulevard. The clerk, however, was held at gunpoint. The suspect was apprehended just hours later. At least one suspect has been apprehended following an armed robbery early this morning at the Horizon Market on the corner of Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Mans Road. According to the Nye County Sheriff's Office, an individual they say was known by the clerk as Cole or CJ entered the store just after 2 a.m. with a gun. He then fired off one round into an unknown direction. The bullet did not hit anyone inside the store. However, the individuals were frightened and retreated to the floor in fear for their lives. The suspect then pointed the gun at the clerk behind the counter. Police say he then stole items from behind the counter. Shortly after, he fled the store in an unknown direction. No one was injured in the robbery, and police have arrested several other individuals they say were involved in this crime. Nye County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant David Berukowitz did 2 announcements this morning on the Nye County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, along with Deputy Mike Connolly.
At the Horizon Market at the corner of Pahrump Valley and Mans, where an armed robbery occurred this morning. Deputies are currently on scene. The suspect is almost identified, and we are working on locating him at this time. The armed robber entered the store, fired one round, taking all of the individuals in the store to the ground, and then proceeded to steal several items from behind the counter. The robber then fled on foot. Deputies are currently seeking his location.
Earlier this morning, both deputies and myself were dispatched to the Horizon Market. While we were traveling to the call, we were advised that the suspect fled on foot. However, the cashier stated he knows who the suspect might be. However, we were unsuccessful in locating the suspect at this time, but we are still looking to find this male at this time.
It's 7:20 in the morning. I'm Lieutenant Berukowitz from the Nye County Sheriff's Office, and we're coming to you live to report that the robbery suspect has been apprehended. He is currently in custody, and we will be releasing much more information relating to his arrest and the circumstances of the robbery within the next couple hours. Detectives are still on scene processing the crime scene and apprehending and interviewing additional suspects relating to this crime. We will update you as soon as possible, but we just wanted you to know right off the bat that the community is safe and that he's in custody, and we will give you a further update as quick as we can.
And a male was bleeding badly from his head following a collision with a power pole on Highway 372 and Banovich.
Early Saturday morning around 3 a.m. we were dispatched for a report of a one-vehicle accident. It's not known exactly what the mechanism was other than it had impacted with something. We were unsure if it was a rollover or a fixed object. As we were responding, we received a notification from Valley Electric that a large meter outage had occurred in that general area. So we suspected that we were going to be dealing with a power pole issue. We warned our crews to use extreme caution since it's a very dark area of the valley, and if we did have power lines down, make sure nobody was hurt upon their arrival.
And then the person required Mercier to land on scene, right?
Yeah, when we got on a location, we completed a scene size up risk assessment and found we had down power pole and we had down power lines running alongside the roadway. We found the patient in very close proximity to those power lines, which caused extreme danger for not only the patient, but anybody that was around him. We quickly removed that patient, got him in our ambulance and assessed and determined that he needed to go to trauma, We brought Mercy Air 21 to the scene and established the LZ on Highway 372.
So did he self-extricate, or was he entrapped inside the vehicle?
He was not trapped on our arrival. We suspect that he self-extricated.
And that's something that you warn against, especially when power lines are involved, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If those power lines had still been energized, it was just by the grace of God that they were not. And if he had, because he actually fell on top of the power lines at some point, and it could have been a much different story.
What's it like for Mercy Air to land with those kind of conditions?
Well, actually, when we do our size up for the LZ, we actually moved it down the highway a little bit and where the sturdier poles were located. We don't want to bring them into the area where exactly where the accident scene occurred because, again, those power lines and the poles are compromised because there's additional strain on them. So we took that into due caution. We also suggested they approach from a certain angle.
And only one occupant inside this vehicle?
Only one occupant. We did check the area just to make certain of that.
Yeah, because there was some kind of report that there might be a female there, right?
There was some question of whether or not he was stating that he was looking for someone else, so we were unsure whether it was in the vehicle or he was just in the presence of trying to call out to someone.
And first responders were dispatched to South Highway 160 recently for a multi-rotation rollover accident.
Thursday evening around 9 p.m. we were dispatched for a mutual aid assignment to Highway 160, Clark County, in the area of mile marker 40 for a reported one vehicle rollover with multiple rotations. As we arrived on location, we found the vehicle resting upright. However, our scene size-up revealed that the driver was entrapped in the vehicle due to medical conditions. Our crew then extricated the patient. Our assessment revealed that the patient required to go to trauma center, so we brought Mercy Air 21 to the scene and established the LZ on Highway 160.
Only one occupant?
One occupant, female operator of the vehicle. Unknown exactly how many rotations, but it's expected at least 2 to 3.
So a passerby was the person that saw the vehicle?
Absolutely. So my understanding, they may have either observed the accident occur or came upon the accident shortly after.
So this was in the Clark County. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded. Did Clark County respond as well?
Clark County was responding. However, we had arrived and completed the extrication prior to their arrival, so they then canceled.
12-year-old Nathan Bautista Cleveland is in the intensive care unit in Las Vegas, recovering from burns to 70% of his body that he received during a tragic bonfire incident last month. We caught up with Nate's grandmother, Desiree, at a fundraiser held for him at Nye Communities Coalition.
Nate's a trooper, okay? He's a fighter and everything. Currently, he's had a couple setbacks, but he's fighting his way. His spirit is really good. He's just a smart kid, fun-loving. He loves to do those pranks and jokes on everybody, okay? But overall, he's just an amazing, amazing young man. He's a fantastic athlete and everything. I watched him at one of his football games from way behind, tackle another kid way down at the other field before he could even make the touchdown and stuff. I mean, he's amazing. This kid can run like you wouldn't believe. He's like the wind when he takes off.
Right now, he just took some of his first steps. Can you tell me about that?
Yep, he just recently has gotten up, okay, and is now starting to walk around the center of the nursing station, and he's actually made a little bit more than 4 steps. He's done 2 laps around it.
How many surgeries has Nate had?
Today, as of Wednesday, he's had his 13th surgery.
How was Wednesday's surgery? How'd it go?
Wednesday's surgery was basically to go in and clean up the grafts that we had lost on his right side. So we have lost all his right side flank and his right side arm. So they had to go in and clean all that and start fresh with it and stuff like that for him.
Because the graft didn't work?
Yes, it did not work.
So he's going to have that redone?
Yes, he's going to have it redone at a future date. Right now, we're just waiting because he has an infection that he's trying to fight, okay? And I mean, he hasn't made it over to the burn center unit. He's still in the PICU at the ICU and, UMC. So we're just having to wait for it to,
What has the doctors told you about what to expect and what is going to happen as far as the progression of him just getting better?
So it's a slow progression for him, okay? And he's learning having to use his legs over again, which, as you know, we just got him up to walk and stuff. He's been slowly learning to use his arms over again. I mean, it's like a newborn baby, okay? They have to learn these steps. And with Nathaniel, he's doing the exact same thing. You know,
how many surgeries are left?
no, we don't. It's an undetermined amount, okay? It depends on whether these grafts are going to continue to take, and if they don't, then we have to go back in and do it again.
How's his internal organs at this point?
They're very well. All his internal organs are really good and stuff like that. There's not a problem with those.
So he's having some PTSD.
Yes, just little minor emotional things with it, okay? But that's to be expected. The doctor said that was going to be expected and stuff. So we're working through with it and everything, and he's just a fighter. He's just getting up and fighting.
And we'll be back right after this break.